don't know how to start this video. Okay. Hi, my name is Clout, and I'm a certified yapper. I like to talk about things. What is it I like to talk about? Good question. Anyways, I'm so stupid. So, I had the bright idea, right? Let me try not to look at my face. Let me look at the camera, all right? Because it probably looks dumb looking at my own face. Um, I had the bright idea to sit down and talk about whatever's on my mind, like a podcast style video, right? Because I like yapping. I don't I just okay, I don't really know how to Okay, it was in fact not working when I accidentally pressed the power button. It just completely stopped taking in my let me actually look at the camera. Oops. God damn it. How do I do this? I don't know how to YouTube. Okay. I might as well just I don't fucking know. Probably just gonna fucking hold it like this. Yeah, I guess that works. So let me try my best to look at the camera and not my own face. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of just wanted to sit down and do like a podcast style video because I think that's fun, to like sit down and talk about things. Plus, I actually want to use my YouTube channel. I'm barely on this YouTube channel. Can I just look at my own face, please? I literally cannot look at the camera. So I'll try my best. Okay, so yeah, I just kind of want to I want to have an opportunity to yap and actually use my YouTube channel, and yeah, and actually have a chance to stay in my cosplays longer because I get into costume, I take videos, I take a couple like short videos and photos, and that's fucking it. It takes it like I'm literally in costume for an hour. It, I actually want to make good use of my costumes too and actually be in them longer and shit instead of being in them for like 30 minutes and that's it. So, yeah, why not we start a little podcast? I don't know what to call it though, to be honest. I didn't know what to call it. Something regarding my own name, Clout, Yappers, Yap Nation, what I really don't know. So, if y'all have suggestions, you can give them to me in the comments. So, yeah. So, so what do I want to talk about today? Well, I had a few ideas. Um, I kind of had the idea to really talk about um, I had the idea to talk about the CEO assassination because I've been really hyperfixated on that situation lately, and I'd love to talk about it. However, I kind of thought that was a bit too much of a heavy hitter. I thought that was a bit too much for a first video, so I'm gonna save that next week or for whenever the court hearing happens and everything because that's gonna happen soon. So I'll probably just do it when that happens. So I actually don't even know when that happens. So, but I figured I'd talk about something else that's like semi crossplay related, but not exactly. It's kind of more of just an internet issue. Actually, it's more of just a fucking like general humanity issue, to be honest. So this it might also be a bit of a heavy hitter, but it's more palatable in my opinion anyways. So, and that is that I think people are becoming just a little too apathetic nowadays. So, what do I mean by this? Well, I mean people are fucking rude. People are so fucking rude nowadays. Like, what is it with people just being pure assholes to other people who don't fucking deserve it? Like I've had too many times where I'm on the internet or I'm just in daily public and stuff where somebody is just outright mean to somebody else for no reason. Like you'll treat somebody with like utmost kindness and respect. Like treat people how you want to be treated. Like that's something a lot of people seem to have forgotten nowadays is to treat people how you want to be treated. And a lot of these people have seemed to just forgotten to do that and are just rude to people who are nice to them. It makes no sense to me though. But the thing is, it's becoming like I don't know if it's just me, but it just seems to be getting worse. Like it seems to be getting worse lately. Like yeah, there were mean people like in fucking 2010 and shit, right? There was mean people then. But it seems like now in the year 2024, people are very mean, like much more mean than they should be. And I'm really noticing it in the last 2 years. Like, some people probably noticed it earlier. A lot of people have been saying it's because of COVID and shit, but I'll get into that. Um, but I've been noticing it in the last 2 years, like 2023, 2024, right? So, and I'm recording this in December, by the way. December, I don't know, I forgot the date. I'm not looking it up right now. Um, and yeah, it's just it makes me sad. Like, I'm just gonna say it right now, it makes me sad. Why is it happening? It could very well be because of COVID, because other people have noticed it too, that I've seen anyways. Other people have noticed people becoming just a lot more apathetic and mean now. So, and a lot of people are saying it's because of COVID. A lot of people are saying it's because of the internet and stuff like that. I kind of think it's a mix of everything. Generally, like people who are just outright mean but are becoming just a little too open about it nowadays. So, which I think correlates directly to the internet because, you're behind a screen, you're anonymous. You get to just say whatever you want and nobody gets to do anything about it. The most repercussions you get is getting your account taken down, but that's about it, right? Like, you can say anything you want and most people don't give a fuck. So, at least most people anyways, it's not going to affect your everyday life because it's the internet, it's a completely different world, right? So, like, I'm just like it really like kind of dawned on me, especially because I actually watched a video on Instagram recently. Not recently, actually, it was a while ago, it was like maybe a month or two ago, where I watched a video of like, I'll put it up in the side right here. I watched a video about how there was a cosplay competition. Like, I think it was actually like a couple years back. At least somebody said it in the comments. Um, where a whole bunch of people, like, were going on stage and showing off their cosplay costumes, right? And then this one person came out with their Springtrap costume, right? And it was really cool, and like they were coming in and their glowing red eyes, and then they got out and on stage and the fog coming out. It was really cool, right? Like, even I admitted it was really cool. So, but when I went into the comment section to see people like talk about it and stuff, because I just kind of wanted to see what people had to say about it, there was a lot of people being very mean to the other cosplayers who were, just showing off their costume, right? A lot of people were being really mean about it. And it kind of made me a little upset because it's like, why are people being so mean to these other cosplayers who probably worked just as hard on their costumes? You know what I mean? I don't think it was very nice for everybody to go in the comment section and be like, oh yeah, all these other cosplayers like suck. They're like Wish.com costumes, Party City costumes. Like, obviously the Springtrap should have won and shit, right? And that's like, I agree, the Springtrap should have won because that definitely, like, in order of craftsmanship, I do think that was the best one. And presentation as well. I think presentation was on point. However, I don't think it's very nice to downplay other people's like costumes and shit just because you think one is better than the other. And granted, like, this is just like a 10-second clip, right? And like, the person who edited it could have very well been like cherry picking like the ones that were like, like less better than the Springtrap one and just cherry picking, right? Who knows? Like, maybe there's full videos out there of all the contestants and there were ones better than the others, right? And they just cherry picked. Um, I haven't gone to really look though, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, but it can very well happen. I wouldn't be rude to the other cosplayers, right? I wouldn't be undermining their craftsmanship and work because making a costume from scratch and everything, like building that whole entire outfit is a lot of work and it's a lot of time and energy and money. And granted, that's not me saying, that everybody should get a trophy for it. Somebody made a comment about that where they were saying like, oh, people like want everybody to get a participation trophy nowadays, and it's like, no, people just I just think people should be nice because I forgot to mention it. I made a comment saying, like, hey, like, I just think we should be nicer. Like, to be honest, like, no, the Springtrap cosplay is cool, but I think we should all just be a little bit nice. Hot take, maybe. Like, I know, crazy take. I think we should be nice. Who would have thought? Like, but I got kind of dogged on, like, because obviously I was making, like, such a crazy wild take that other people started like, being kind of like rude and like in my opinion, like just being rude. They still worked hard, right? I don't think we should be being rude. Like, I'm just gonna say it. I don't think we should be rude. It's not easy to make a cosplay from scratch, especially one as very elaborate as a couple of the ones that were in the video. Actually, a couple of them were actually pretty damn crazy. Like the one person who had like the scythe and everything, I thought that was pretty sick. Like, I'm sure that scythe was like hard as fuck to make. So, but like nobody gave a fuck though. Honestly, I think I was like a minority in that comment section being like, hey guys, I think we should be nice. And everybody else was just saying like, well, like the rest of them were just bad, because they definitely bought their costumes from Party City and shit. And it's just like, tell me you know nothing about cosplay without telling me you know nothing about cosplay, because like it's a craftsman cosplay contest, right? I guarantee you, like, nobody there bought their costume. Like, the whole point of a contest for cosplay is that you, like, specifically a craftsmanship one, is where you make your costumes from scratch, right? No, so I guarantee you, none of these people bought their shit, right? Like, I guarantee you, some of these people made their stuff, like, from scratch, like, just bought fabric and the thread and, like, worked day and night, like trying to sew it all together and craft it and everything. Like, that's not easy. Like like here, I'm a cosplayer. Who would have thought? I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a cosplayer. I don't know if you can tell, but like I love to cosplay, right? It is not easy to make a costume from scratch. I will tell you that. Like, it's not easy. It's very hard. It's also really expensive. It's very expensive. It costs way too fucking much to make a costume from scratch. Hence why I buy my costumes. Like, I bought pretty much this entire outfit, right? Like, I bought the costume. I specifically bought my Aimiko like secondhand, actually, but it is bought. It's not handmade. I even bought these accessories that didn't come with the costume itself. I just kind of bought these because it looked nicer and I just wanted the costume to look better. I also bought the ears. I didn't make that either. And the wig came with it. I did style the wig myself. That's as much as I did with this costume, though. Um, and let me tell you, as somebody who is a wig stylist, self-proclaimed anyways, styling the wig alone is hard. Styling the wig alone is hard. It's hard as fuck. Like, trying to, get the materials to do it, trying to, like, make sure you're using the right sprays and glues and shit like that. Make sure you're having a high quality wig and all the tools you need. It's hard. And techniques as well. It's hard. I had people dogging on me in those comment sections, and I had to straight up tell them all, like, like, just, hey, like, try making one yourself. I guarantee you it's not easy. Try making one yourself and you come back to me. And obviously, all of those people, probably fucking, like, teenagers and shit, just being like, haha, like, they're just bad, they're bad. And it's just, like, but the minute I fucking tell them, like, okay, you make it yourself, then it's fucking crickets. It's fucking crickets. Anyways, I'm kind of straying a little too far off the point. The point is, people are mean. People are so mean nowadays. Like, what is, I think it's a mix of people being behind a screen and believing that it's completely anonymous and they can say whatever they want. And it's also because of COVID, because we were stuck in isolation for a couple years and stuff, right? We had no chance to really talk to anybody and stuff, right? And it damaged a lot of people, but I do think it also damaged the empathy that people have for other people. Because why is it that, like, somebody could post a selfie of themselves online and get in their, like, and they're not, like, conventionally attractive, right? And people will be shitting on them and stuff and just making fun of their looks and everything. It's like it's almost as if the body positivity movement just completely stopped existing, right? Like, it's just like, it's like it meant fucking nothing to these people. Because why is it that we're now making fun of, like, people's features and shit? Like, and like I've had people, like, make fun of my own appearance and stuff online and everything. Like, I'll give you an example, actually. So, a couple years ago, when Resident Evil 8 was, like, trending and shit, and it was just out and stuff. Great game, by the way, peak. So, I cosplay Lady Dimitrescu, right? And I don't know if you can tell, I'm not very voluptuous. I'm not a very voluptuous person. I'm also 5'5", right? So when I cosplay Lady Dimitrescu, right, which was requested by the way, somebody wanted me to do it, and I was like, you know what, bet I'll do it. So I bought Lady Dimitrescu cosplay. I posted on TikTok, right? And that video blew up, and not for the right reasons. It blew up because people were really dogging on my appearance, right? Because obviously I don't have fat titties. I don't have fat, big old titties, right? So when I'm wearing that dress, um, people were making fun of my boobs. People were making fun of how skinny and how like flat I was and stuff, right? Because like I don't have boobs. I don't have boobs. And people were making fun of like my face and everything and how like big my nose was and like just making fun of my appearance, right? You know, and it made me really upset because I would see those comments and everything and be like these people are being so mean to me, like, you know, and it just made me feel really insecure in myself. And this was in a point in my life where I had really like recovered and healed from my own like body dysmorphia and stuff. And recovering from like my own insecurities growing up as a teenager. And when I saw all those comments of people, it just really it made me feel really awful about myself. And it kind of made me want to like relapse into my old habits, which was, you know, like just over consuming like foods to make my chest grow and just basically having an eating disorder. I had an eating disorder, right? You know, and just like picking at myself and my appearance and being like, I have to gain weight so I can have bigger thighs and bigger boobs and stuff, and I have to go back to exercising so I don't have a fat waist and everything, right? And I want a flat tummy and stuff, right? And seeing those comments made me want to relapse back into those old habits that were not good for me. Thankfully I was at a point in my life where I wasn't like as insecure about myself, and I was able to have a little more confidence in myself, where even though people were shitting on me like so heavy, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna cosplay her again. And that's exactly what I did. I cosplayed her again. People didn't like it, didn't give a fuck though. And here's the thing, all those people's comments made my TikTok blow up like crazy. I got a shit ton of followers from that. So you know what? Who fucking lost? Not me. The whole point is that, you know, people were so mean to me that if I wasn't already at a pretty like fairly healthy mindset at the time, I probably would have ended up going back to my old ways and stuff. And this is why like having no empathy is so fucking bad, because I guarantee you none of those people felt they had any consequences for their actions, calling me flat and calling me skinny and saying my nose was ugly and that I looked gross and that I didn't fit the character and stuff, which was ridiculous because Lady Dimitrescu is 9 feet tall. I'm never gonna be fucking 9 feet tall, but whatever. It's whatever, you know. So, yeah, you know, I'm not really sure why all this fucking like apathy has just come like, you know, at a time like this, right? At a time where we got out of like just, you know, the body positivity movement and stuff, right? Because that was the thing, you know, like people used to sit down and be like, you know, hey, like any size you are, you're beautiful. It doesn't matter how you look, you're gorgeous the way you are. But now that it's no longer trending anymore, now it seems like people have just gone the completely other way, because you know, something that definitely doesn't help is that people have just completely made it a trend to look a certain way, and have made it a trend to, you know, like do things that are not good for you. Like for example, lifting the weights at the gym, which I'm not saying that's bad. What I'm saying is overdoing it, right? Like overdoing it to a point you get like multiple hernias and shit, and you just do it so that you can look better and stuff like that, right? And not because you want to feel good about yourself. You know, there's a difference between like people going to the gym so that they can feel good about themselves, and then the other side of it where people go to the gym because they want to look a certain way because they think they're ugly, right? You know, which, you know, hot take, but I think everybody's beautiful the way they are. I know, such a crazy take, right? That's such a wild take. But I mean it, like genuinely. Like I do believe that everybody looks beautiful the way that they are, right? You know, and like I'm not saying that people aren't allowed to like do certain things for themselves to improve their appearance. Like for example, shaving their legs. I think that's perfectly okay to do, shaving their armpits and stuff. Yeah, you know, and people are allowed to have the choice of whether or not they want to shave their armpits, right? I shave my armpits because it makes me feel good about myself, makes me feel clean and everything, right? And other people don't shave their armpits because that's what makes them feel good, right? And yeah, but now we have people going around nowadays being like, if you don't shave your armpits, you're gross and weird. And it's like, they're allowed to do whatever the fuck they want with their body as long as it's not harming them. And shaving their armpits isn't fucking harming anybody. So what am I not getting? What am I not getting? What the fuck happened to body positivity and allowing people to have whatever fucking body hair they want on their goddamn? What happened to that? Why are we so mean now? Why are we so fucking rude now? Like, what the fuck? What happened to doing stuff with your body because it made you feel good? What? Like, because now now that we're on the topic of body positivity, right? There have been too many times in my life where I have witnessed like literal teenagers and children, even children, like literally witnessed this, by the way. I literally witnessed this from time to time. In my own nieces and nephews, by the way, because I'm an auntie. I'm an aunt, right? I got nieces and nephews. And it makes me really, really sad. I'm not gonna cry. It makes me really, really sad when I hear one of my own nieces, you know, say like, "Oh, I don't look that great. Like my smile's too gummy, and my lips are too thin, and you know, my freckles are gross and weird." And it's like, no, no, you're cute. You're so beautiful the way that you are. It makes me so sad to see like my own nieces and nephews like think that they're ugly the way they are and talk about getting like different plastic surgeries and stuff. It makes me so sad because it's like, why did we condition literal children into changing their own appearance because people don't have enough empathy anymore? What happened? And yeah, granted, like the whole children talking about getting plastic surgery one day and stuff like that does come from a place of parents not monitoring their children like in what they consume in their everyday life, you know? In like children like kids and teenagers like literally consuming content about beauty influencers saying like showing off their like workout bod and showing off their like lethal face card or whatever, even though in reality they had work done on their body, but a lot of them don't talk about it. It makes me happy when they do talk about it genuinely, because like cause it's like, yes, we're destroying the stigma of telling women they need to look a certain way, even though in most cases it's not natural. In most cases they have work done and stuff, but they don't talk about it, and then it fuels more insecurity in young women and stuff. So you know, so yeah, but there's still plenty of influencers out there, like beauty influencers, who don't talk about the work done, and then other people like young women, teenagers and children see that and they're like, man, why don't I look that way? Like I have to get these plastic surgeries now to look beautiful and stuff so I can feel great about myself, when in reality they don't have to do anything, because girl, you're beautiful the way that you are. Like I genuinely think like most people around me are like beautiful. Not most, all of them. Like genuinely, I think like every single one of my nieces and nephews are beautiful that the way they are, and I really, 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 really wish they would believe that. I really wish. So yeah, and the whole apathy from people like dogging on people's appearances and stuff doesn't help anybody. Like it doesn't help a single soul. It doesn't help them personally. It doesn't help the person they're insulting, and it doesn't help the people who are witnessing it either. Like like the person insulting another person online is just making, I'm sure it makes them feel awful, you know? Like I can't imagine what benefit they're gaining from insulting people's looks online, you know what I mean? Like I can't picture what they're gaining from it, you know? Like then again, I have fucking autism and hyper empathy. Like I don't understand why people are mean at all. Like I just like, what's the point of that, you know what I mean? Oh, and then for the person receiving those insults, you know, like just, you know, they probably thought that their selfie looked great and they were like, oh, I look so cute and stuff, I'm gonna post this online, you know? and they do, and then there's people dogging on them and shit, and it's just like, oh, now I don't feel great, it doesn't help them, and now they feel like they need to change something about their appearance because people online didn't like them. And then there's the people witnessing it, right? Because obviously on the internet, people are gonna see whatever is posted online, right? That's the fucking reality. I don't think people realize that whatever you post online, other people see. Other people are gonna see other people saying like, your nose is ugly and fat, you need to get a smaller nose. And I'm sure people seeing that, they're like, is my nose fat and stuff? Like, it's just a cycle of like, just meanness. Like, I don't know what else to call it. It's just a cycle of people being mean to each other that helps absolutely nobody. So I don't understand why people are so mean nowadays. So, and I could go on and on and on of just how people are mean and why they're mean and stuff. But really, it just boils down to like, why? Like, occasionally you'll see people being like, I'm such a hater and stuff like that, right? And even I've joked about it myself too, or it's like, yeah, I'm just such a hater, I hate the new KSI song, whatever, think of it, I fucking hate it. But in reality, I'm not a hater. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, most of the time, unless somebody is an asshole to me, I'm not gonna be an asshole first, you know what I mean? So, so but when people are like being unironic about it and stuff, it's just like, why? What's the point? Like, what's the point of sending a hate comment to somebody when they did nothing wrong to you or did nothing wrong at all? Like, it'd be different if it was somebody who was genuinely an abhorrent person, like somebody like Jake Paul, right? If somebody was dogging on Jake Paul, they'd be like, yeah, he's a fucking terrible person, I don't fucking like him either. But when it's somebody who didn't do anything at all to you or didn't do anything at all in general, it's like, why? I don't know. Like, I just genuinely, I don't know if it's like a difference in like perspective. Like, maybe the other person felt like the other person did something rude back, right? I don't like, maybe that person saw this one person say something they thought was mean, but the other person didn't know it was mean, right? I've had this happen far too many times in my life where I say something that I thought was a really nice thing to say, right? Hence why I use tone tags, by the way. I will say to somebody, like, hey, that thing looks good on you, or but then that person will go like, not even up to me, to other people, and be like, you see how fucking mean they were? They were so condescending about the thing I was wearing. Like, they were so fucking rude. And I end up hearing about it and I'm like, wait, was I condescending? And that very well just comes from like my own autism and stuff, which is my own struggle to deal with. But it doesn't help when people are just really mean about it and stuff, or they're just like, oh yeah, this person's so mean because they were like being condescending and sarcastic about the dress I was wearing or whatever, when I was just being very genuine and trying to be nice and be like, hey, that dress is really pretty and stuff, not even understanding that maybe the way I said it was weird, maybe the way I said it sounded condescending when I didn't mean it that way. But honestly, what would fix that is just having fucking basic communication, right? Like, just actually coming up and talking to me about it and being like, hey, I really felt like you complimenting my dress sounded a little condescending and stuff. And I would just be like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it that way. I genuinely like your dress and I genuinely think it looks cute on you. So, and then it'd be like, oh, okay, I'm glad we've glossed over that now. And then the story would be fucking over. But no, instead people want to go around and be like, this person's so fucking mean. And then other people come up and are like, yeah, they said this about me one time and it was kind of condescending, instead of just being nice people and just fucking talking to each other about things. Why? What is the point? I don't get it. What is the point? What is the point of just saying nasty things about people? Like, I understand if you're upset about something and you want to vent, right? Like, that's a different story. Like, if you just want to vent about something and you're not ready to talk about it to the other person, I get it, right? But then don't be mean to the person and saying nasty shit without talking to them first. It's like, or like without talking to them at all, and stuff like that, right? Like, I'd understand if you're afraid and stuff, but that's when you go up to another person and be like, hey, I really felt like they were condescending about my dress, can you maybe help me talk about it to the other person because I'm a little nervous? That's a different story. That's when you go up to the other person and ask them like, hey, I need a little help, help me out here, and then talk about it like normal fucking people. And then and then the story's over because now you guys talked about it, and it's just like, okay, that's over now. But no, people have no fucking empathy anymore because now people just want to sit there and be nasty about shit and spread rumors about other people. And it makes no fucking sense. It's like, what happened to being nice? It's it's just it upsets me because it's I just mm. So I just wish people would be nicer, you know? Is that really so hard to do? Like in the video I mentioned, people were dogging on me and stuff, and I just kept having to tell these people like, hey, like I think that's rude what you said. So, because obviously people saw my comment of being like, yeah, the Springtrap cosplay is cool, but I think we should be a little nicer to the other people who are in the contest. And people just kept dogging on me and being like, oh, well, their costumes look like Wish costumes and they look bad and blah, blah, blah. And I just have to go up and be like, I don't know. I think that's a little mean to say, especially when you like, like I think you should maybe try making the costume yourself, but obviously people kept wanting to like fucking test me in the comment section and stuff, which, I will admit I've had a moment where I was just like, like don't piss me off, bro. Like you literally are just being rude now. So, but that was a moment of weakness. So I will admit. But genuinely, I just think people should just be nicer. I'm sorry that's such a hot take. I know it's crazy to say that, but like genuinely, people are just being fucking rude, and I think we should all just come together and be like, hey, let's start being a little nicer now. I think, but that's never gonna fucking happen though, because people like it's not gonna be trendy to be nice anytime soon. It's gonna be trendy to tell people they look skinny. It's gonna be trendy to tell people they look fat or whatever, right? Instead of just having empathy for other people and just being like, oh, well, this person is probably like struggling and stuff. I'm not gonna comment about their weight. You know what I mean? So, like the only instance where I can see somebody like talking about another person's like weight or whatever, is if it's like in a joking manner with the other person's consent that they are okay with it, right? Like if it's like between two friends, right? Like two bros, and one bro just goes and says like, "Hi, your wiener's small," right? And the other dude's like, "Hi, yeah, your wiener's small too," like stupid shit like that. Then it's like different, because it's between bros, it's like, and they're both chill with it. They both don't give a fuck. It doesn't harm them in any sort of way. Then it's like, that's different, you know? But when it comes to going to somebody's like post online and telling them like, like, oh, you look too skinny, you need to eat a burger, like fucking, yeah, just eat a burger, like eat more food, fucking, I don't fucking know, just eat more protein, whatever, like just calling them skinny and shit in several different ways. You look like a twig, you look like a skeleton, blah blah blah. Then it's really uncalled for because that other person didn't even ask to be called that. The other person didn't probably didn't even want to be called that. So it's, yeah. So I don't know. Hot take, I guess, for people to just be nice. So yeah, you know. So yeah. So I think I've yapped about it enough now. So yeah. So yeah, I guess if you liked the video and you want to see more podcast style videos where I just talk about whatever is on my mind at the moment, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe. Suggestions on what I should call the podcast would also be quite helpful because I literally don't know what to call it. Um, but if people like it enough and want to see me do it more, then yeah, like and subscribe. Just that's all I'm ask. So you know, anyways, I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope whatever drawing or project that you're working on right now looks really great. So, and yeah, have a wonderful day. Bye bye.